Stretching across the heart of modern-day Turkey, the Anatolian plateau is a land of immense scale and, honestly, stark beauty. Its vastness is almost overwhelming, a seemingly endless expanse where the horizon blurs into a tapestry of ochre, gold, and green. Here the land rises and falls in gentle undulations, shaped by millennia of wind, sun, and the slow, patient hand of time. At first glance, its rolling steppes and vast, sun-drenched plains might appear empty, a quiet landscape sculpted by wind and time. The silence here is profound, broken only by the whisper of the breeze through dry grasses or the distant call of a bird. Yet this is a profound illusion. These seemingly barren expanses are, in fact, vibrant ecosystems teeming with a remarkable array of life. Every inch of soil, every blade of grass, and every hidden crevice is alive with activity, much of it invisible to the casual observer. The Anatolian steppes represent a quarter of the entire region, a critical habitat where creatures have forged extraordinary strategies to survive in a world of harsh extremes. Here, life is a constant negotiation with the elements. Scorching summers, freezing winters, and unpredictable rainfall. Summers are scorching, the air shimmering with heat, and the ground baked hard beneath relentless sun. In winter, the landscape transforms. Snow blankets the plains, muffling sound and movement, while icy winds sweep across the open ground. It is a challenging stage upon which the drama of life unfolds every single day and night. This ancient land, often called the cradle of civilizations, also cradles a unique natural heritage. Long before the rise of empires, these plains were home to wild herds and elusive predators, their stories etched into the very soil. For millennia, its wildlife has adapted to the rhythm of the seasons, from the snow-covered silence of winter to the explosive bloom of spring. Tracks in the snow reveal the secret journeys of foxes and hares, while the arrival of spring brings a riot of color and life, as wildflowers burst forth and insects swarm in the warming air. The steppes are not merely empty spaces between mountains and cities. They are intricate tapestries woven from countless species of plants, insects, reptiles, birds, and mammals. Each thread in this living fabric is vital, contributing to the resilience and complexity of the ecosystem. Each organism plays a crucial role, from the smallest seed-dispersing rodent to the largest soaring vulture. Ground squirrels gather and bury seeds, shaping the plant communities, while vultures patrol the skies, keeping the land clean and healthy. To truly understand Anatolia, one must look beyond its famous ruins and bustling cities and venture into these wide-open spaces where the region's wild soul endures against formidable odds. Here, the true spirit of Anatolia is revealed in the quiet persistence of its wildlife. The importance of these habitats cannot be overstated. They are the lungs and lifeblood of the region, supporting a diversity of life found nowhere else on Earth. They are corridors for migrating birds, vital stopovers on journeys that span continents. Each year, millions of birds pass through, resting and feeding before continuing their epic migrations. These plains are breeding grounds for unique species, some found nowhere else. Here, rare birds nest on the open ground, and wild animals raise their young in the shelter of tall grasses and rocky outcrops. The steppes are living laboratories of evolution, where insects pollinate wildflowers, reptiles bask on sun-warmed rocks, and every adaptation is a testament to the ingenuity of life. The very soil beneath our feet tells a story of adaptation, a chronicle of how life persists in the face of scarcity. Hardy plants send roots deep into the earth, drawing moisture from hidden reserves, while mosses and lichens cling to rocks, surviving where little else can. The sparse grasses and hardy shrubs provide sustenance for grazers and browsers, from wild sheep to nimble insects, each perfectly adapted to the lean offerings of the land. The rocky outcrops offer shelter, a refuge from predators and the elements. Here, small mammals and reptiles find safety, their lives unfolding in the hidden spaces between stones. The seasonal wetlands create oases of astonishing biodiversity. When the rains come, shallow ponds burst into life, attracting flocks of birds, amphibians, and countless insects, all drawn to the precious water. This is a world where survival is an art form, perfected over countless generations. Every creature, from the swift hare to the cunning fox, is a master of adaptation, their lives a delicate balance of risk and reward. Every creature we encounter here, from the magnificent Anatolian mouflon to the shy striped hyena, is a testament to the resilience of nature in one of its most demanding theatres. Their presence is a living link to the wild past of Anatolia, a reminder of what is at stake. However, this ancient world is now facing its greatest challenge. The balance that has endured for millennia is under threat as the pressures of the modern age encroach upon these wild places. The relentless expansion of human activity casts a long shadow over the steppes. Farmland and development steadily replace the wild, fragmenting habitats and disrupting ancient migrations. Agriculture carves up the unbroken plains, transforming diverse grasslands into monocultures and draining the wetlands that once teemed with life. New settlements encroach upon ancient territories, fragmenting the landscape and isolating wildlife populations, making survival ever more precarious. The vital water sources that sustain this delicate balance are being depleted at an alarming rate. Rivers run dry and wetlands shrink, leaving animals and plants to struggle for survival. As we embark on this journey to discover Anatolia's hidden wildlife, we must also confront the urgent reality of its fragility. Every encounter is a reminder of what could be lost if these habitats disappear. We are here not just to marvel at its wonders, but to understand what is at stake and why the preservation of these vast vital plains is a responsibility we all share, for the generations yet to come and for the wild heart of Anatolia itself. Among the most iconic and elusive inhabitants of the Anatolian steppe is the Anatolian mouflon, a wild sheep whose presence is woven into the very fabric of these vast rolling plains. The Anatolian mouflon is a magnificent creature, instantly recognizable by its muscular build and the impressive spiraling horns of the rams. These wild sheep are not just symbols of the steppe, they are living testaments to the harsh beauty and resilience of this landscape. The steppe itself is a world of extremes, endless horizons of golden grasses, scattered with rocky outcrops and sparse shrubs, where temperatures swing from scorching summers to bitterly cold winters. Here, the mouflon thrive in large, tightly knit herds, their movements synchronized as if guided by a single will. These herds are constantly on the move, traversing the open plains in search of food and safety, their vigilance a testament to the ever-present threat of predators. For much of the year, the powerful rams form bachelor groups, living apart from the females and young. These bachelor herds are a spectacle of strength and hierarchy, where each ram's status is determined through ritualized contests and displays. The ram's immense curving horns are not merely ornamental, they are formidable weapons, clashing in thunderous battles that echo across the plains. These contests are not only about physical power, but also about endurance and strategy, as each ram vies for dominance and the right to mate. Each horn is a living chronicle, its surface etched with dark rings that mark the passage of years. The horns, composed of keratin, grow throughout the ram's life, recording seasons of abundance and hardship, drought and plenty. It can take more than a decade for a ram's horns to reach their full, majestic size, sometimes weighing as much as 10 kilograms. This heavy crown is both a badge of survival and a tool for asserting dominance within the herd. The daily life of the mouflon is a delicate balance between feeding and vigilance. Their survival depends on their acute senses, keen eyesight, sharp hearing, and a powerful sense of smell, all finely tuned to detect the slightest hint of danger. The placement of their eyes on the sides of their heads grants them a panoramic field of vision, nearly 320 degrees, allowing them to scan the horizon for wolves and other predators even as they graze. Grazing is a relentless pursuit. An adult mouflon spends up to 10 hours each day feeding, methodically moving through the steppe's mosaic of grasses, herbs, and shrubs. Their diet is as varied as the landscape itself, and their ability to extract nutrients from the toughest, driest vegetation is a marvel of adaptation. Of the roughly 400 plant species that blanket the Anatolian steppe, mouflons are selective, consuming about a quarter of them. Their choices shift with the seasons as they seek out the most nutritious and palatable plants available. Their complex digestive systems are perfectly suited to breaking down fibrous, arid vegetation, extracting every possible nutrient from the sparse offerings of the steppe. This constant search for food shapes every aspect of mouflon life. The herds are always on the move, covering vast distances across their ancestral lands, their paths dictated by the availability of fresh grazing and water. The rhythm of the seasons governs the mouflon's existence. As spring brings new growth, the herds expand and disperse, taking advantage of the abundance. In summer they seek shade and water, enduring the heat. Autumn signals the approach of winter, and with it profound changes in behavior. As the cold sets in, the rams leave their bachelor groups and embark on a determined search for females. This is the rutting season, a time of intense competition and energy, lasting up to 6 weeks. When the future of the herd is decided, the herds become charged with tension as rams challenge one another and vie for the attention of the ewes. Every interaction is a test of strength, stamina, and social standing. Once mating is complete, the herds settle into a quieter rhythm, conserving energy for the challenges of winter and the promise of new life in the spring. In the spring, a pregnant ewe will quietly slip away from the herd, seeking the safety of a rocky crevice or a hidden valley. Here in solitude she will give birth, shielded from predators and the harsh elements. The newborn lamb, fragile and unsteady, will spend its first days in this sanctuary, gaining strength and learning to stand, walk, and recognize its mother's call. Only when it is strong enough will it rejoin the herd, ready to face the challenges of the open steppe. The delicate cycle of mouflon life is intricately linked to the health of the steppe ecosystem. Every member of the herd plays a role in shaping the landscape, dispersing seeds, and maintaining the balance of plant communities. Yet, this ancient balance is under threat. The mouflon require vast, unbroken territories to roam, but the relentless expansion of agriculture is fragmenting their habitat, cutting them off from traditional migration routes and reducing the availability of food and water. The Anatolian mouflon is more than just a species. It is a keystone of the steppe, embodying the wild, untamed spirit of these plains. Its fate is inseparable from the fate of the entire ecosystem, a living indicator of the health and vitality of the land. To witness a herd of mouflon flowing over a hillside at dawn is to glimpse a living thread of Anatolia's ancient natural heritage, a reminder of the deep connections between animal, land, and sky. It is a sight of breathtaking beauty and profound significance, one that must be cherished and protected, so that the monarch of the steppe and the wild world it represents endures for generations to come. The Anatolian plains stretch endlessly, a vast mosaic of grass, scrub, and rolling hills. Here survival is a daily challenge, and only the most adaptable thrive. Among these survivors, 2 stand out for their remarkable strategies and unique roles in this ecosystem: the cunning red fox and the elusive striped hyena. The red fox, with its keen intelligence and boundless curiosity, is a master of adaptation. It is a familiar figure, weaving through the tall grasses and rocky outcrops, its senses finely tuned to every movement and sound. In winter, the fox's vibrant coat blazes against the snow, a living ember in a world of white. This striking appearance is more than just beauty. It is a testament to the fox's resilience, allowing it to blend into the golden hues of summer and stand out in the starkness of winter. When snow blankets the land, the fox's world transforms. Its sharp eyes scan the horizon, but it is the fox's extraordinary hearing that becomes its greatest asset. Even the faintest squeak of a vole beneath the snow does not escape its notice. The fox stands motionless, every muscle poised, ears swiveling to triangulate the source of the sound. It can detect the subtle vibrations of a rodent tunneling beneath the frozen crust, a skill honed by generations of survival. Suddenly, with a burst of energy, the fox leaps high and dives headfirst into the snow. This hunting technique, known as mousing, is a blend of patience, precision, and athleticism. The fox's leap is perfectly calculated, its jaws snapping shut on its hidden prey. Each successful catch is a triumph, a small victory in the harsh winter. The fox's ability to exploit these hidden food sources is vital, especially when larger prey is scarce and the cold is relentless. As the days lengthen and the snow begins to melt, the fox's priorities shift. The solitary hunter becomes a devoted partner, engaging in playful courtship rituals that strengthen the bond between mates. The vixen's breeding season is brief, and timing is everything. Courtship is a delicate dance of calls, chases, and gentle nuzzles, all taking place before the spring thaw brings new life to the plains. When the cubs are born, the den becomes the center of the fox's world. The vixen is fiercely protective, rarely leaving her young, while the male brings food and stands guard. The demands of parenthood are relentless. The mother fox must hunt tirelessly, bringing back a steady supply of food to satisfy the ever-hungry cubs. Her routes crisscross the plains, each journey a test of her ingenuity and endurance. The fox's diet is as varied as the landscape itself. She hunts small mammals, birds, and insects, and when prey is scarce, she turns to berries, roots, and even carrion. This flexibility is the secret to her survival, allowing her to thrive where others might falter. Each meal she brings strengthens her cubs, giving them the best possible start in a world where danger is never far away. The young foxes learn quickly, watching their mother, mimicking her every move, preparing for the day when they too will roam the plains alone. In stark contrast to the fox's vibrant presence, the striped hyena is a creature of shadows and silence. Rarely seen, it moves with a quiet confidence through the remote corners of Anatolia, its reputation woven into the region's ancient folklore. Locally known as the moon-haired wolf, the striped hyena is instantly recognizable by its bold, dark stripes and shaggy mane. Yet despite its striking appearance, it is a master of concealment, emerging only under the cover of darkness. Unlike the social hyenas of Africa, the Anatolian striped hyena is a solitary wanderer. Its nocturnal habits keep it hidden from view, and its haunting calls echo across the valleys only on the darkest nights. The hyena's striped coat is perfect camouflage, breaking up its outline as it glides through the moonlit steppe. It moves with a ghostly grace, rarely leaving a trace of its passage. As a scavenger, the striped hyena is the plains' silent custodian. It seeks out the remains of animals left behind by other predators, consuming every scrap and bone. In doing so, it prevents the spread of disease and recycles vital nutrients back into the ecosystem. The hyena's jaws are among the strongest in the animal kingdom, capable of crushing even the largest bones. This allows it to access the rich marrow within, ensuring that nothing is wasted. The solitary nature of the striped hyena makes it a mysterious figure. It avoids confrontation, relying on its keen senses and intimate knowledge of the land to stay out of sight. Night after night, the hyena covers vast distances, following ancient trails in search of food. Its territory can span dozens of kilometers, and it remembers every waterhole, every hidden den, every place where prey might be found. When it finds a carcass, the hyena often drags large pieces back to its den, a safe haven where it can feed undisturbed. These dens, hidden among rocks or in abandoned burrows, are passed down through generations. The striped hyena's secretive habits, combined with its shrinking habitat, make it one of Anatolia's rarest mammals. Each sighting is a fleeting glimpse into a world that is rapidly disappearing. The hyena is a living relic, a survivor from a wilder era. Its presence is a reminder of the ancient balance that once ruled these plains, a balance now threatened by the encroachment of modern life. The future of the striped hyena, and indeed the red fox, depends on the health of the Anatolian wilderness. Their stories are intertwined with the fate of the land itself. By understanding and protecting these remarkable animals, we preserve not just their lives, but the intricate web of life that sustains the steppe. In the heart of Anatolia lies a natural wonder that seems almost otherworldly. Lake Tuz, the region's second-largest lake. Its vast, shimmering surface stretches to the horizon, a mirror of sky and salt that dominates the landscape. For much of the year, Lake Tuz is a shallow expanse of saltwater, its edges encrusted with brilliant white salt crystals that glisten under the Anatolian sun. The air is heavy with the scent of minerals, and the ground crunches underfoot, a testament to the lake's extreme salinity. But as the seasons shift and the breeding months approach, this stark landscape is transformed. The silence is broken by the distant calls of flamingos, their arrival heralding a new chapter in the lake's story. Lake Tuz becomes the stage for one of Europe's most spectacular wildlife gatherings. Tens of thousands of greater flamingos descend upon the lake, their pink plumage painting the salt flats in vibrant hues. This is one of the continent's most important flamingo breeding colonies, a living tapestry of movement and color. First discovered in 1969, the Lake Tuz colony is a vital stronghold for the species. Here, flamingos find the space and safety they need to breed in numbers rarely seen elsewhere. In a single season, as many as 20,000 chicks may hatch, turning the horizon into a shimmering sea of pink and grey. The air is filled with the soft peeping of chicks and the low honks of adults, a symphony of new life. The flamingo's choice of Lake Tuz is no accident. The lake's high salinity and harsh summer heat create a natural fortress, deterring most predators and providing a safe haven for vulnerable eggs and chicks. Under the relentless sun, the salt crust thickens and the water recedes, exposing vast mudflats. Only the flamingos, perfectly adapted to these extremes, thrive here. No land-based predator can easily cross the treacherous, salty mudflats to reach the nesting grounds at the lake's center. The flamingos are safe, surrounded by a moat of salt and heat. Here, the adults build their nests, cone-shaped mounds of mud, carefully sculpted above the salt crust. Each nest is a labor of love, designed to keep a single precious egg safe from flooding and the scorching ground. Each nest cradles one egg, pale and fragile, watched over by attentive parents. The parents take turns incubating the egg, their long, graceful necks arching protectively as they shield their future offspring from the relentless sun and drying winds. It is a scene of remarkable cooperation and dedication, a testament to the flamingo's resilience in one of the harshest environments imaginable. When the chicks finally hatch, they are covered in soft grey down, their legs and beaks still short and stubby. Their first steps are tentative as they navigate the crusty salt flats, learning to balance and follow the movements of the adults. But the greatest challenge is yet to come. The salty water of Lake Tuz is undrinkable, and the chicks must embark on an epic journey to survive. Guided by a few vigilant adults, the chicks form a massive creche, a living river of downy bodies. Together, they begin a perilous march of nearly 20 kilometers across the blinding white salt pan, heading for the freshwater pools on the lake's western edge. The journey is grueling. The chicks, still weak and unsteady, must endure the searing heat and the abrasive salt underfoot. Many falter, but the instinct to survive drives them onward. It is a powerful display of instinct and communal effort, as thousands of tiny bodies move as one across the vast, shimmering salt pan. their survival dependent on unity and determination. Yet, even this natural fortress is not immune to change. The flamingo metropolis of Lake Tuz has faced grave threats in recent decades. In the early 2000s, the colony suffered a catastrophic decline. The once thriving breeding grounds were left barren, the nests abandoned as the water receded. Severe drought, worsened by the diversion of rivers for agriculture, caused water levels to plummet. The delicate balance of the lake's ecosystem was shattered, and the flamingo's future hung in the balance. Nests were stranded far from water, and the freshwater pools the chicks depended on vanished, leaving the young birds with nowhere to go. Fortunately, changing water management practices and a growing awareness of the lake's ecological importance have brought hope. Water has begun to return, and with it, the flamingos. The colony is recovering. Each year, more flamingos return, their numbers swelling as the lake's health improves. The young flamingos that survived their first arduous journey will one day return to Lake Tuz, drawn by the memory of their birthplace and the promise of new life. Here the cycle continues, feeding, breeding, migrating, each generation playing its part in the delicate web of life. The flamingos of Lake Tuz are more than a spectacle. They are a vital link in the region's ecosystem. Their presence a sign of nature's resilience and the enduring beauty of Anatolia's wild heart. High above the endless sun-baked plains of Anatolia, immense shadows drift silently across the land. These are the vultures, majestic, broad-winged sentinels, gliding effortlessly on the thermals, their keen eyes scanning every inch of the steppe below. They are the undisputed guardians of the sky, their presence both awe-inspiring and essential to the delicate balance of this vast ecosystem. Vultures are nature's ultimate cleanup crew, performing a task that no other creature can match. When an animal falls on the steppe, be it a wild gazelle, a sheep, or a massive aurochs of the past, vultures are among the first to arrive. Their acute sense of sight allows them to spot the slightest movement or the glint of a carcass from kilometers away. As they descend, their numbers grow, gathering in silent anticipation, ready to perform their indispensable role in maintaining the health of the land. Among these remarkable birds, the cinereous vulture stands out as a true giant. With a wingspan that can reach an astonishing 3 meters, it is one of the largest flying birds in the world. Its dark plumage and powerful build make it an imposing figure, whether perched atop a rocky outcrop or gliding silently above the plains. From their lofty vantage points, cinereous vultures can survey immense stretches of land, their vision so sharp that they can detect the smallest details from hundreds of meters in the air. In a single day, a vulture may travel up to 150 kilometers, tirelessly patrolling the steppe in search of carrion. Their flight is a study in energy efficiency, as they rarely flap their wings, instead relying on the invisible rivers of warm air that rise from the sun-heated earth. The life of a vulture is one of patience and precision. They soar for hours, circling high above the plains, conserving energy as they wait for the telltale signs of a meal below. Their mastery of the skies is unrivaled, a testament to millions of years of evolution in the open landscapes of Anatolia. To cover such vast distances, vultures have perfected the art of soaring. They ride thermals, columns of rising warm air, spiraling upwards with barely a movement of their wings. Once they have gained enough altitude, they glide for miles, scanning the ground for any sign of death or decay. This method allows them to travel immense distances without expending much energy, a crucial adaptation in the wide-open spaces of the steppe. Their wings, broad and fingered at the tips, are perfectly designed to catch the slightest updraft. As they circle higher and higher, they can spot not only carcasses, but also the movements of other scavengers, which may signal the presence of food. The sky is their domain, and they navigate it with effortless grace. Vultures are not just passive gliders, they are astute observers. From their aerial perches, they watch the behavior of herds and the movements of predators, always alert to the possibility of a fresh kill. Their intelligence is evident in the way they interact with the landscape and with each other. forming a complex web of communication and observation that spans the entire steppe. Often it is not the vultures themselves who first discover a carcass. Smaller birds, crows, magpies, or the diminutive Egyptian vulture may arrive first, their presence quickly drawing the attention of the larger scavengers. This network of watchers ensures that no opportunity is missed, and that the remains of the dead are swiftly and efficiently consumed. At the sight of a carcass, a silent but strict hierarchy emerges. The largest and most powerful vultures, like the cinereous, take precedence, using their size and strength to dominate the feast. Smaller species must wait their turn, each playing a role in the gradual breakdown and consumption of the remains. This order ensures that every part of the carcass is utilized, from the tough hide to the softest tissues. Unlike the raptors that share their skies, vultures are not hunters. They do not pursue or kill living prey. Instead, they are specialists in the art of scavenging, relying on their unique adaptations to exploit a niche that few others can fill. Their feet and talons are relatively weak, designed more for walking and steadying themselves at a carcass than for grasping or killing. This makes them awkward on the ground, but perfectly suited to their role as scavengers. Their beaks, however, are formidable tools, powerful, hooked, and razor-sharp. With these, they can tear through the toughest hides and sinews, reaching the nutritious flesh and organs that lie within. Each vulture species is adapted to a particular part of the carcass, ensuring that nothing goes to waste. By consuming the remains of dead animals with remarkable speed, vultures prevent the spread of dangerous bacteria and diseases such as anthrax, rabies, and botulism. Their digestive systems are so acidic that they can neutralize even the most lethal pathogens, making them the ultimate sanitizers of the steppe. This vital service protects not only wildlife but also livestock and, indirectly, the people who depend on these lands. In this way, vultures are the silent, efficient custodians of a healthy environment. They transform death into life, returning vital nutrients to the soil and ensuring that the cycle of life continues unbroken across the Anatolian plains. Yet despite their critical ecological role, vultures face an uncertain and precarious future. Their numbers are dwindling, and their presence on the steppe is no longer guaranteed. The survival of vultures is intimately tied to the abundance of wild herbivores and the continuation of traditional pastoralism. As wild animal populations decline and modern farming practices replace the old ways, the reliable sources of carrion that vultures depend on are disappearing. The steppe, once teeming with life and death, is growing quieter. Habitat loss is another grave threat. The tall pine trees that border the plains, where cinereous vultures build their enormous nests, are being cut down for timber or lost to development. Without these ancient sentinels, the vultures have nowhere to raise their young, and their future becomes ever more fragile. Protecting these magnificent scavengers is about far more than saving a single species. It is about preserving the intricate ancient systems that keep the Anatolian steppe alive and in balance. Without vultures, the land would change in ways we can scarcely imagine. Disease would spread, the cycle of life would falter, and the wild heart of Anatolia would lose one of its most vital guardians. Beneath the endless sunlit expanse of the Anatolian steppe, a hidden world thrives, teeming with life and intricate relationships. Here the ground is not just earth, it is a labyrinth of tunnels, chambers, and passageways, home to a vibrant community that rarely meets the eye. At the very heart of this underground society is the Anatolian ground squirrel, a small but remarkable creature whose presence shapes the fate of the entire steppe. These industrious rodents are more than mere diggers. They are architects, tirelessly excavating complex burrow systems that stretch deep and wide beneath the grasslands. Each tunnel is carefully crafted with separate chambers for sleeping, storing food, and raising their young. Some burrows reach depths of up to 2 meters, with multiple entrances and emergency exits. These underground fortresses shield the squirrels from the searing summer heat and the biting winter cold, as well as from the ever-watchful eyes of predators. As they dig, ground squirrels churn and aerate the soil, breaking up hard earth and mixing in organic matter. This constant activity improves soil structure, allowing water to seep deeper and nourishing the roots of grasses and wildflowers above. Their mounds and tunnels create a patchwork across the steppe, shaping the very landscape. The ground squirrel's presence is felt in every corner of their territory as they scurry between burrow entrances, ever vigilant for danger. But their influence extends far beyond the soil. The Anatolian ground squirrel is a keystone species, its daily routines weaving together the lives of countless other animals and plants. As they forage, ground squirrels gather seeds, grasses, and roots, stuffing their cheeks with food to carry back to their burrows. Inadvertently, they scatter seeds across the steppe, becoming vital agents of plant dispersal and regeneration. Throughout the year, they hoard vast quantities of seeds in their underground pantries. Many of these caches are forgotten, and when spring arrives, the seeds sprout, giving rise to new life and helping to restore the steppe's lush vegetation. The ground squirrel's fate is closely tied to that of its neighbours, both friend and foe. Foxes prowl the grasslands, steppe eagles soar overhead, and weasels slip silently through the grass, all drawn by the promise of a meal. For these predators, the ground squirrel is a lifeline, a reliable and abundant source of food. Where ground squirrels thrive, so too do their predators. The health and density of their colonies are a direct reflection of the steppe's vitality. In places where the grass is thick and the earth is rich, ground squirrels gather in bustling communities, their presence a sign of a flourishing ecosystem. The burrows themselves are masterpieces of engineering, with multiple entrances and hidden chambers. But these tunnels are not just for ground squirrels. They are shared by a host of other creatures, each finding shelter and safety in the labyrinth below. When a burrow is abandoned, it quickly becomes a haven for others. Snakes slip inside to escape the midday heat, lizards bask at the entrances, and hedgehogs curl up in the cool darkness, safe from the harsh world above. These underground networks are vital real estate, passed from one tenant to the next, each species adapting the space to its own needs. The little owl, with its piercing yellow eyes and watchful gaze, often claims an old burrow as its own. By day, it perches at the entrance, scanning for insects and small mammals. Reptiles, too, seek refuge in these ready-made shelters, escaping the blazing sun and lurking predators. Among the most fascinating visitors is the wheatear, a small migratory bird that journeys thousands of miles each year to breed on the Anatolian steppe. The wheatear often chooses an abandoned ground squirrel burrow as the perfect nest site, its chicks safely hidden from predators and the elements. Here the bird raises its young, relying on the shelter and security provided by the squirrel's handiwork. Yet this intricate web of life is under threat. The world of the Anatolian ground squirrel is shrinking, as ploughed fields and expanding agriculture devour the native steppe. The ground squirrel's survival depends on the undisturbed permanent pastures of the steppe, where wildflowers bloom and grasses sway in the wind. In ploughed fields stripped of their native plants and teeming with machinery, the ground squirrel cannot survive. The soil is too compacted, the food too scarce, and the burrows too easily destroyed. As agriculture advances, vast tracts of grassland are lost, replaced by monoculture crops. The ground squirrels are left stranded, their homes fragmented and isolated. Populations become cut off from one another, unable to migrate or find new territory. Local extinctions follow, and with each loss, the steppe grows quieter, its tapestry of life unraveling. The disappearance of the ground squirrel sends shockwaves through the ecosystem. The soil becomes compacted, plants struggle to regenerate, and predators lose a vital food source. The steppe, once alive with movement and sound, becomes a shadow of its former self. To protect the Anatolian steppe is to protect the world beneath our feet, a world where ground squirrels and their neighbours work together, shaping the land, nurturing life, and sustaining the delicate balance of this extraordinary ecosystem. While the great mammals and soaring birds of Anatolia often command our attention, the true marvels of the arid lands are often found much closer to the ground, hidden in plain sight, beneath the sun-baked grasses and among the scattered stones of the steppe. The steppe is a living mosaic, home to a fascinating and diverse community of smaller, more secretive creatures, each uniquely adapted to survive the harsh, arid conditions. Here, every tuft of grass and patch of bare earth conceals a world of activity. Among the most remarkable are the legless lizards, whose elongated, streamlined bodies are a testament to the power of evolution. These reptiles, such as the shelterpussic or glass lizard, have lost their limbs over millennia, allowing them to move with astonishing agility through the dense grasses and loose soils of the steppe. The shelterpussic, or glass lizard, can reach an impressive length of 135 centimeters, gliding across the ground with a serpentine grace that often leads it to be mistaken for a snake. Yet it is a true lizard, distinguished by its movable eyelids and external ear openings, features that snakes lack. This legless form is a brilliant adaptation for life on the ground, enabling the lizard to burrow swiftly into loose soil or dense undergrowth. When threatened, it can vanish in seconds, escaping predators or pursuing its own prey, primarily insects, snails, and other invertebrates that thrive in the arid environment. The arid plains are also the domain of some of the region's most formidable reptiles, including the blunt-nosed viper. This powerful snake, which can grow up to 1.5 meters long, is a master of patience and stealth. With its potent venom and muscular build, the blunt-nosed viper is a predator to be respected. Its patterned skin blends seamlessly with the rocky, dusty ground, providing perfect camouflage as it lies in wait for unsuspecting rodents or birds. The viper's cryptic coloration is an evolutionary marvel, allowing it to remain nearly invisible to both prey and predators. It can remain motionless for hours, striking with lightning speed when an opportunity presents itself. As the sun sets and the temperature drops, another ancient survivor emerges, the scorpion. These resilient arachnids are among the first animals to have moved from water to land, some 460 million years ago. Their tough exoskeletons and nocturnal habits help them conserve precious moisture and avoid the searing daytime heat. All scorpion species are venomous, using their stinger-tipped tails for both defense and to subdue their insect prey. Their ability to survive in the harshest conditions is a testament to their remarkable adaptations. Some can go months without food, relying on slow metabolisms and efficient water retention. The air itself is alive with activity, especially during the warmer months when the insect population explodes. Swarms of grasshoppers, beetles, and butterflies fill the shimmering air, their numbers providing a crucial food source for countless other species. This abundance supports a host of beautiful and specialized birds, such as the blue-cheeked bee-eater. These vibrant, migratory birds arrive in southeastern Anatolia to nest in large colonies, their plumage flashing turquoise and gold in the sunlight. The bee-eaters dig tunnels into soft, sandy slopes, creating intricate nesting chambers where they raise their young. The males engage in a charming courtship ritual, demonstrating their hunting prowess by catching bees and dragonflies in mid-air and presenting them as gifts to potential mates. A skilled and generous hunter is more likely to be chosen as a partner, as this proves he can provide for the chicks to come. The bee-eater's aerial acrobatics and social behaviors are a spectacle of the steppe, a vivid reminder of the intricate relationships that sustain this ecosystem. Once paired, the birds work together to excavate their nest and raise their brood, with both parents tirelessly hunting to feed their hungry chicks. This world of smaller wonders also includes the often feared tarantulas. Anatolia is home to 4 different species, each adapted to the arid landscape in its own way. The black tarantula is one of the largest spiders in the region, its dark, hairy body blending into the shadows of rocks and burrows. Despite their intimidating appearance, these spiders are largely harmless to humans and play a vital role in controlling insect populations. Each of these smaller creatures, from the slithering glass lizard to the industrious bee-eater and the silent tarantula, forms a vital thread in the complex tapestry of the steppe. Their unique adaptations, from venom and camouflage to burrowing and aerial hunting, are ecological marvels that ensure the survival of countless species. The strength of this ecosystem lies not only in its largest inhabitants, but in the immense diversity and resilience of its smallest, often overlooked residents. Each is a hidden wonder, perfectly attuned to the rhythms of the arid lands, and together they weave the living fabric of Anatolia's steppes and plains. To truly understand the steppe, one must look beyond the obvious and discover the extraordinary lives unfolding in the shadows and underfoot, where survival is an art, and every adaptation tells a story of endurance and ingenuity. The ancient and intricate ecosystems of the Anatolian steppes, which have endured for millennia, are now facing a period of unprecedented change. The delicate balance that sustains their unique wildlife is being disrupted by a tide of human activity that is expanding at an alarming pace. This encroachment is not just a physical invasion, but a profound alteration of the habitat that these species have adapted to over countless generations. The single greatest threat is the relentless conversion of natural grasslands into agricultural land. This transformation is driven by the demand for more arable land to support growing populations and their need for food. However, this comes at a steep cost to the native flora and fauna. Vast unbroken plains, once the roaming grounds of mouflons and gazelles, are being ploughed and fenced, creating a fragmented landscape of isolated pockets. These fences and ploughed fields act as barriers, preventing the free movement of wildlife and leading to isolated populations that struggle to survive. This habitat loss is devastating for species that require large territories to find food, mates, and safe refuge. The fragmentation of their habitat means that these animals have to travel further and face greater risks to meet their basic needs. This agricultural expansion brings with it a secondary, equally perilous threat: the depletion of water. Water, the lifeblood of these ecosystems, is being diverted to irrigate crops, leaving the natural habitats parched and unable to sustain their native species. The steppes and plains are, by their nature, arid or semi-arid environments where water is the ultimate currency of life. The scarcity of water is a natural challenge that these ecosystems have adapted to, but human intervention is tipping the balance. The rivers and streams that feed the wetlands and sustain the plains are being diverted at an unsustainable rate to irrigate thirsty crops like cotton and corn. This diversion not only reduces the water available for wildlife, but also alters the natural flow patterns that many species depend on. This has a catastrophic effect on crucial sites like Lake Tuz, where the survival of an entire flamingo colony hinges on the inflow of fresh water. The reduction in water levels can lead to the loss of breeding grounds and feeding areas, pushing these birds to the brink. As water tables drop and wetlands dry up, the oases that support a huge diversity of life simply vanish, leaving behind a parched and barren landscape. These wetlands are critical for many species, providing not just water but also food and shelter. Human expansion is not limited to agriculture. The growth of urban areas further encroaches on the natural habitats, adding another layer of pressure on the already stressed ecosystems. The growth of cities, towns, and infrastructure, such as new roads and dams, further carves up the wilderness. These developments not only take up space, but also alter the natural landscape in ways that can be detrimental to wildlife. Roads create deadly barriers for wildlife, leading to vehicle collisions and isolating populations, which can result in a loss of genetic diversity. The fragmentation caused by roads can prevent animals from accessing different parts of their habitat, leading to inbreeding and a decline in population health. The development of land also brings increased human presence, which can lead to disturbance and persecution of animals like wolves and hyenas, often misunderstood and viewed as a threat to livestock. This human-wildlife conflict can result in the killing of these predators, further reducing their numbers. Even our waste has an impact. Opportunistic predators like black kites may gather at landfills, but this unnatural food source can be a trap, filled with toxic materials and non-food items. These birds can ingest harmful substances, leading to health problems and even death. The cumulative effect of these pressures is pushing many of Anatolia's most iconic species towards a critical tipping point. The stress from habitat loss, water scarcity, and human disturbance is taking a toll on their populations. The endangered mountain gazelle, once widespread, now clings to survival in a single protected area in the southeast, its numbers reduced to a mere few hundred. This species is a prime example of how habitat, fragmentation, and human activities can drive a species to the brink of extinction. The Anatolian ground squirrel disappears wherever the ploughs arrive, and with it goes the food source for countless predators. This small mammal plays a crucial role in the food web, and its decline can have ripple effects throughout the ecosystem. The story is the same across the plains. The wild heart of Anatolia is being steadily eroded. The transformation from wild steppe to agricultural land is a stark reminder of the impact of human activities on natural landscapes. We are witnessing a profound transformation, one that threatens to silence the ancient rhythms of the steppe forever unless we act decisively to change course. Conservation efforts are crucial to preserving these unique ecosystems and the species that call them home. In the face of such daunting threats, habitat loss, climate change, and the relentless pressure of human expansion, it can be easy to lose hope for the future of Anatolia's steppes and plains. These vast, windswept grasslands, once teeming with life, now stand at a critical juncture. Yet woven into the story of Anatolia's vanishing wilderness are powerful tales of resilience and recovery. The land itself, scarred but not defeated, demonstrates that with concerted, science-driven effort, it is possible to turn the tide and restore what has been lost. Perhaps the most inspiring example is the remarkable comeback of the northern bald ibis, a bird whose very existence once seemed doomed. This strikingly unusual bird, with its bald red head and long, curved beak, was once on the very brink of extinction in Turkey. Its presence on the cliffs was a living memory of a wilder Anatolia. In the 1950s, the wild population had plummeted to just 9 individuals. The widespread use of toxic pesticides like DDT poisoned their insect prey and caused their eggshells to become fatally thin, pushing the species to the edge of oblivion. The salvation of the northern bald ibis is a testament to the power of dedicated long-term conservation. Teams of scientists and rangers work tirelessly, monitoring nests, studying the bird's habits, and developing strategies to protect every remaining individual. A semi-wild breeding program was established in Birecik in southeastern Anatolia, where the last remaining birds nested on the steep cliffs above the Euphrates River. These cliffs became a sanctuary, a final refuge for a species on the edge. The use of the most harmful pesticides was banned in the surrounding farmlands, ensuring a safe food supply for the birds and their chicks. This crucial step allowed the ecosystem to begin its slow recovery. For years, the birds were kept in captivity during the harsh winter months, protected from the perils of migration. Each spring, they were released to nest and raise their young in their natural cliffside habitats, gradually rebuilding their numbers. This intensive hands-on approach worked. Chicks hatched and survived, and the population began to grow, year by year. The population slowly but surely began to rebound, pulling the species back from the edge of extinction. Today, the sight of a flock of northern bald ibises soaring over the Anatolian cliffs is a symbol of hope and perseverance. This success story provides a crucial blueprint for what is possible when science, policy, and determination come together. It demonstrates that even the most threatened species can be saved with the right strategies and unwavering commitment. It shows that when local communities, scientists, and governments work together, even species in the most dire of straits can be saved. Collaboration and shared responsibility are the cornerstones of effective conservation. The lessons learned from the ibis, the importance of protecting habitats, eliminating poisons from the environment, and directly supporting vulnerable populations can be applied to the other threatened species of the steppe. Every patch of preserved grassland, every protected water source, and every reduction in chemical use is a step toward recovery. Similar efforts are now underway to protect the last remaining mountain gazelles. Dedicated reserves have been established, providing safe havens where these graceful animals can graze, breed, and thrive, shielded from poaching and habitat loss. These initiatives are glimmers of hope in a challenging landscape. Each sunrise over the steppe brings new possibilities for recovery as long as vigilance and care are maintained. The future of Anatolia's steppes and plains now hangs in the balance. The choices made today will determine whether these ancient grasslands remain a sanctuary for wildlife or fade into memory. The beauty of the mouflon, the cunning of the fox, the spectacle of the flamingos, and the silent vigil of the vulture all depend on the choices we make today. Each species is a thread in the intricate tapestry of the steppe, and their survival is intertwined with the health of the land itself. We stand at a crossroads. The path we choose will shape the destiny of these wild places for centuries to come. We can continue on a path of unsustainable expansion, allowing farmland and development to consume the last remnants of wilderness, or we can choose to forge a new relationship with this land, one based on respect, stewardship, and a deep understanding of ecological balance. By supporting conservation projects, restoring native vegetation, promoting sustainable agriculture, and protecting vital water sources, we can ensure that the wild heart of Anatolia continues to beat. Every effort to replant native grasses, every field managed without harmful chemicals, and every spring kept clean is a promise to the future. This is our shared responsibility and our privilege. The fate of the steppes is not only a matter of preserving beauty, but of safeguarding the intricate web of life that sustains us all. By acting now with vision and determination, we can ensure that Anatolia's steppes remain wild, vibrant, and full of life for generations yet to come. As dusk settles across the Anatolian steppe, a shadow stirs among the whispering grasses. This is the realm of the Anatolian wildcat, an elusive predator, rarely seen, yet ever present in the tapestry of the plains. With fur dappled in subtle stripes and eyes that gleam gold in the fading light, the wildcat is a master of invisibility, blending seamlessly into its wind-swept surroundings. By day, the wildcat lies low, nestled in abandoned burrows or concealed beneath thorny shrubs, conserving energy and avoiding the harsh gaze of the sun. Its world awakens as twilight falls. With silent, measured steps, it emerges, ears twitching to catch the faintest rustle, nose quivering to read the wind. Every sense is sharpened in anticipation of the hunt. The wildcat's technique is a study in patience and precision. It stalks its prey, ground squirrels, voles, and unsuspecting birds, moving with calculated slowness, body pressed close to the earth. A sudden pounce, swift and decisive, is often all it takes. The steppe's open expanse offers little cover, but the wildcat's muted coat and wary instincts turn scarcity into advantage. Survival in the steppe demands adaptation. The Anatolian wildcat is a solitary wanderer, fiercely territorial, marking its range with scent and claw. Its diet shifts with the seasons. In spring it hunts for fledgling birds and insects. In the leaner months, it scavenges and patrols wider distances in search of rodents. Every kill is vital in a landscape where resources are few and competition is fierce. Yet the wildcat's greatest strength is its ability to remain unseen. For centuries it has endured the ebb and flow of the steppe, fire, drought, and the expansion of humanity, by weaving its life into the land's quiet places. It is both a guardian and a ghost, a living memory of Anatolia's wild heart. To glimpse the Anatolian wildcat is to witness the enduring spirit of the steppes, resilient, resourceful, and utterly untamed. Its presence is a silent reminder that hidden in the grass and shadow, the wild still endures, waiting for nightfall to reclaim its domain. As dawn breaks over the Anatolian steppe, a powerful silhouette glides across the sky. This is the steppe eagle, a master of the winds and a ruler of the open plains. With wings outstretched, catching the first thermals of the day, the eagle surveys its vast domain from above, eyes sharp as polished amber. Each year, the steppe eagle embarks on an epic migration, spanning thousands of kilometers from the grasslands of Central Asia to the warmth of Africa. Its journey is one of endurance and instinct, guided by ancient pathways written in the sky. Along the way, the eagle faces fierce storms, treacherous mountains, and the endless expanse of desert, yet its determination never wavers. On the steppe, the eagle is a top predator, swift, decisive, and formidable. From its lofty perch atop a lone tree or rocky outcrop, it scans the land for movement. A hare darts through the grass. A ground squirrel freezes mid-step. With a sudden burst of speed, the eagle dives, talons extended, striking with breathtaking precision. Its diet is varied, including rodents, reptiles, and even carrion, making the eagle both a hunter and a vital cleaner of the land. But the steppe eagle's role goes beyond the hunt. By controlling populations of small mammals and scavenging the remains of the fallen, it helps maintain the delicate balance of the steppe ecosystem. Its presence signals the health of these wild plains, a sentinel soaring above the shifting grasses. As the seasons turn, the steppe eagle's shadow disappears from Anatolia, carried south on the wind. Yet its legacy remains, woven into the rhythm of migration and the cycle of life. The return of the eagle each spring is a celebration, a reminder that the wild heart of the steppe beats on, high above, beneath the boundless sky. Beneath the relentless Anatolian sun, where shadows are scarce and the ground shimmers with heat, small survivors scuttle between rocks and tufts of grass. These are the Anatolian lizards, masters of adaptation, perfectly tuned to life on the steppe. From the nimble Anatolian rock lizard, with its mosaic-patterned scales, to the elusive snake-eyed lizard, these reptiles are a testament to nature's ingenuity. During the hottest hours, they slip into crevices, sheltering from the scorching rays. As the air cools, they emerge, basking on sun-warmed stones to absorb vital heat, their bodies shifting color to better blend with the earth and avoid the gaze of predators. Hunting is an exercise in patience and precision. With lightning-fast reflexes, they snatch insects, spiders, and even small invertebrates, each meal a victory in a land where food is hard won. When danger looms, perhaps the shadow of a raptor or the slither of a snake, they vanish in a blur, leaving only a twitching tail behind as a decoy. Some species, like the Anatolian agama, display vivid colors during the breeding season, bobbing their heads and performing elaborate dances to attract mates. Others, like the sand-race runner, rely on sheer speed, darting across open ground faster than the human eye can follow. In winter, when the steppe turns cold and barren, these lizards retreat underground, entering a state of brumation, nature's pause button, until the warmth returns. Their lives are a delicate balance of energy and survival, shaped by the extremes of their environment. The Anatolian lizards may be small, but they are vital threads in the steppe's tapestry, pollinating flowers, dispersing seeds, and feeding a host of predators. In their silent, sunlit world, every day is a triumph over adversity, a quiet marvel of survival under the endless Anatolian sky. Across the Anatolian plains, where wind and sun reign supreme, life clings to the earth in unexpected forms. Here, rare and ancient plants have evolved to survive in a realm of extremes. The delicate tulip of the steppe, its crimson bloom, a fleeting brushstroke against the ochre soil, emerges for just a few short weeks each spring, timed perfectly with the last rains. Alongside it, the spiny milk vetch, with silvered leaves that reflect the sun's glare, roots itself deep, drawing precious moisture from the depths below. Some, like the salt-tolerant glasswort, thrive in the saline flats near vanished lakes, turning whole fields a brilliant red in autumn. Others, such as the Anatolian orchid, hide among grasses, their intricate blossoms pollinated by solitary bees and butterflies. These plants are more than mere survivors. They are the lifeblood of the steppe. Their roots anchor the soil against wind erosion. Their seeds feed birds and small mammals, and their flowers provide nectar in a landscape where resources are scarce. Adaptations abound, leaves that curl to conserve water, waxy coatings to defy the sun, seeds that wait years for the perfect rain. In the harshest seasons, many vanish from sight, existing only as dormant bulbs or seeds beneath the parched earth, ready to awaken with the promise of rain. The rare flora of Anatolia's plains are silent architects of their world, shaping the ecosystem for all who depend on it. Each resilient bloom and tenacious stem is a testament to the power of adaptation, and a reminder that even in the harshest lands, beauty and life find a way. Beneath the waving grasses and hidden among wildflowers, a world of astonishing activity unfolds, one ruled by the smallest of giants, insects. In the Anatolian steppes, these tireless creatures shape the very fabric of the ecosystem, playing roles as pollinators, predators, and keystone species. Bees, both wild and solitary, dart from blossom to blossom, their bodies dusted with pollen. With every visit, they ensure the survival of rare orchids, tulips, and milk vetch, weaving an invisible web of connection between plant and animal. Butterflies, like the Anatolian blue, flutter lightly, their migrations tracing the rhythm of the seasons, while hoverflies mimic bees, adding both beauty and cunning to the landscape. But not all insects are gentle. Predatory wasps prowl the undergrowth, hunting caterpillars and spiders to feed their young. Ladybugs and ground beetles patrol the soil, keeping aphid populations in check and safeguarding the tender shoots of new growth. Even the humble ant, ever industrious, aerates the earth and disperses seeds, helping rare plants colonize new ground. On warm afternoons, the air buzzes with life. Grasshoppers leap in arcs of emerald and gold, their songs a constant chorus. Dragonflies skim above shallow pools, their iridescent wings flashing as they hunt for mosquitoes and gnats. Each insect, no matter how small, fills a vital niche, pollinating flowers, controlling pests, recycling nutrients, and providing food for birds, reptiles, and mammals. In this intricate dance, the fate of the steppes is written in miniature. The survival of Anatolia's wild heart depends not only on its grand predators or stately plants, but on these unsung architects, tiny, tireless, and essential. Insects remind us that sometimes the greatest impact comes from the smallest wings. In the quiet corners of Anatolia's steppes, where sun-baked stones meet shallow pools, another cast of survivors emerges: amphibians and reptiles, masters of stealth and adaptation. Here, the Anatolian lizard darts between cracks in the rock, its scales gleaming in the sunlight, ever alert for danger and prey. Along the muddy banks of temporary ponds, agile green toads and tree frogs chorus at dusk, their calls echoing across the plains. These amphibians have evolved to seize every fleeting drop of water, laying eggs in puddles that may vanish within days, and their tadpoles race against time to transform before the pools dry. Beneath the grasses, sandbows and whipsnakes glide unseen, their patterned skins a perfect camouflage against the earth. Some, like the Anatolian viper, rely on patience and venom, lying motionless until an unwary rodent draws close. Others, such as tortoises and terrapins, carry their homes on their backs, retreating into their shells during the harshest heat or cold. In the relentless Anatolian sun, survival demands clever strategies, burrowing deep to escape the midday blaze, basking on rocks at dawn to warm chilled blood, or blending seamlessly into the shifting colors of the steppe. These creatures are silent sentinels, often overlooked but vital to the balance of the ecosystem. They control insect and rodent populations, disperse seeds, and provide sustenance for birds of prey and mammals alike. Their presence is a testament to resilience, an ancient lineage persisting in a land shaped by extremes. In the mosaic of Anatolia's wild heart, amphibians and reptiles are the subtle threads that bind life to the earth, adapting and enduring where only the most resourceful can thrive. As daylight fades and the searing sun dips below the endless horizon, Anatolia's steppes awaken to a different rhythm. In the cool embrace of night, a hidden world stirs, one where survival depends on silence, shadow, and senses sharpened by darkness. Small mammals, invisible by day, venture from their burrows. The Anatolian jerboa, with its oversized ears and elongated hind legs, bounds across the moonlit plains, foraging for seeds while listening for the faintest rustle of danger. Nearby, the elusive steppe polecat slinks through tall grasses, its keen nose guiding it to unsuspecting prey. Owls, silent lords of the night, take flight from ancient stone outcrops. The Eurasian eagle owl's haunting call echoes across the fields, while its wide eyes pierce the gloom, seeking rodents below. Insects, too, fill the darkness with life. Crickets chirp in rhythmic symphonies, and moths flutter gently toward the faintest glimmer of starlight. Nocturnal snakes like the sand boa emerge to hunt under the cover of blackness, their movements almost imperceptible against the cool earth. Even the steppe's foxes become shadows, using the night to outwit both predator and prey. Adaptations to this twilight world are extraordinary. Many night dwellers boast heightened senses, acute hearing, sensitive whiskers, or the ability to see in near total darkness. Some, like the scorpion, glow under the moon's ultraviolet rays, signaling both warning and wonder. In this realm of muted colors and hushed sounds, every movement is measured, every breath a careful calculation. The nocturnal creatures of Anatolia's steppes are masters of the unseen, writing their stories in footprints left behind on dew-kissed ground. Here, under the vast Anatolian sky, life endures not just in the light, but in the gentle, mysterious shadows after sunset. Across the endless Anatolian plains, time is marked not by calendars, but by the rhythm of the seasons. Each shift in weather brings both challenge and opportunity, and the wildlife of the steppes has evolved remarkable strategies to endure and thrive. In spring, the land awakens, rain softens the earth, coaxing wildflowers and grasses from their winter slumber. Herds of wild sheep and gazelles return to graze, their young taking their first tentative steps among blossoming tulips. Birds arrive from distant migrations, filling the air with song as they construct nests in the shelter of shrubs and low trees. As summer approaches, the plains transform beneath the relentless sun. Water sources shrink, and the grass turns golden and brittle. Many creatures become crepuscular, venturing out only at dawn and dusk to escape the midday heat. Ground squirrels retreat to their cool burrows, while lizards bask on warm rocks before seeking shade. Even the mighty steppe eagle times its hunts for the cooler hours. Autumn brings a brief reprieve, a mosaic of colors and cooler breezes. Seeds ripen and insects swarm, providing a final feast before the leaner months. Some animals, like the Anatolian tortoise, prepare for hibernation, burrowing deep to avoid the coming cold. Others, such as migratory birds, gather in flocks ready to embark on their long journeys south. Winter cloaks the plains in frost. Food grows scarce, and only the hardiest remain. Foxes and wildcats grow thicker coats, blending into the muted landscape. Rodents tunnel beneath the snow, relying on caches of seeds and roots. Life slows but does not cease. Every heartbeat, every quiet movement is a testament to resilience. Through each seasonal transformation, Anatolia's wildlife adapts in subtle, ingenious ways. Their survival is a living story of endurance and change, woven into the fabric of the plains and echoed in the turning of the year. Across the vast, sunlit steppes of Anatolia, water is the rarest treasure. Every lake, river, and seasonal stream becomes a lifeline, a shimmering oasis in a sea of grass and stone. These waterways are more than just geographical features. They are the beating hearts of the plains, drawing life from miles around. Lake Tuz, with its mirror-like surface, is a sanctuary for thousands of migrating birds. Flamingos, avocets, and stilts gather in dazzling flocks, their lives intimately tied to the shallow, mineral-rich waters. Here brine shrimp thrive, providing nourishment for chicks and adults alike, a single drop of water sustaining an entire chain of life. Along the winding banks of the Kızılırmak River, reeds whisper in the breeze, sheltering shy otters and secretive herons. Frogs chorus from hidden pools, and dragonflies dart over the surface, their jeweled wings catching the sun. In the heat of summer, herds of wild sheep and gazelles trek for miles to drink, sharing these precious sources with foxes, tortoises, and even the elusive Anatolian wildcat. When the rains come, ephemeral streams carve new paths through the plains, awakening dormant seeds and tiny creatures. Beetles and amphibians emerge from the cracked earth, seizing the brief abundance. At night, bats skim the water's edge, hunting swarms of insects drawn to the cool, moist air. But water is never guaranteed. In dry years, lakes recede and rivers shrink to thin ribbons, forcing wildlife to adapt, move, or perish. The struggle for survival becomes a daily pilgrimage, a reminder of the delicate balance that sustains Anatolia's wild heart. In every droplet, a story unfolds of thirst and abundance, of gathering and parting, of life flowing through the veins of the steppe. The waterways of Anatolia are not just features on a map. They are the keepers of resilience, connection, and hope. Beneath the endless skies of Anatolia's steppes, an invisible tapestry binds every living thing together. Here, life is not a collection of isolated stories, but a single, intricate web, each thread woven by the actions and existence of countless species. A ground squirrel forages for seeds, unaware that its burrows aerate the soil, creating homes for insects and passageways for rainwater to nourish hidden roots. Those same seeds, left behind or scattered, sprout into wildflowers and grasses, feeding grazing gazelles and sheep. In turn, these herbivores are watched by the sharp eyes of foxes and the silent wings of eagles, each predator maintaining a delicate balance, ensuring that no single species overwhelms the land. Above, clouds of insects rise with the warmth of day, food for swooping swallows and patient lizards. When the sun dips below the horizon, a new caste emerges. Owls glide low, hunting rodents. Beetles scuttle through the undergrowth, recycling the remains of the day. Even the smallest ant carrying grains of sand shapes the landscape, while vultures cleanse the plains, returning nutrients to the earth. Every act, every hunt, every meal, every movement ripples outward, touching lives near and far. Remove just one link and the balance trembles. Over generations, these connections have evolved, creating an ecosystem where survival is shared, and the fate of one creature is tied to the rest. In Anatolia's wild heart, the web of life is both fragile and enduring, a living network where every being, from the tiniest insect to the mightiest eagle, plays a part in the ancient dance of balance. It is here, in the quiet interdependence of the plains, that the true wonder of nature reveals itself. Everything is connected, and together they create the resilience of the steppe.